When I get new whiskey drinkers here in the Speakeasy, I always try to start them off with something lower proof, but fun and approachable. And for the longest time, one of my favorite bottles to go to was Trail's End. 90 proof, says right here, 8-year Kentucky straight bourbon finished with Oregon Oak. But this one was a batch too. So I reached out to the folks at Trail's End and they sent me this batch 6 with the updated labeling and marketing. We're going to see how it is. Go ahead and roll my intro. Hey guys, welcome back to T-Rod Whiskey, the internet's most okayest whiskey review channel. I'm glad you found your way here, even if it was by accident. Make sure you hit that subscribe button though, okay? Don't get it twisted. Now, when I was beginning my whiskey journey and I was kind of trying to delve into as much as I could, and I was kind of helping others experience whiskey as well, which I still love doing. One of my favorite low-proof bottles to introduce people to was this Trail's End. Now, this was a batch number 2, 90 proof. It was kind of fresh off of its 2016 double gold win at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. But since then, the great folks at Trail's End have sent me a newer bottle and more updated bottle with their new marketing, new labeling. Looks a lot more refreshed, cleaner, and it's a batch 6. So whether or not it's gotten better or not, I don't know, but I did very much enjoy the batch 2. I'm sure the batch 6 is going to be wonderful. So a little bit about this. So Hood River Distilling makes Trail's End, but they don't actually distill it. They're a non-distilling producer, so they source their whiskey. Tried doing some homework, kind of tried digging into it. Wasn't really able to find out a ton about where this whiskey comes from. I know it is sourced from Kentucky, and they've been sourcing kind of since before the advent of like Bardstown and Green River, which makes me believe that more than likely, this is probably 8-year-old, 90 proof Heaven Hill. Now, what kind of makes it a little bit unique is that it is finished with Oregon Gaeryana. It's finished with Oregon Gaeryana Oak, whatever. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, you guys can crucify me in the comments. I don't care. But that is kind of a really unique detail, and it's actually an incredible value for money, especially since these guys are about $45. So for $45, you are getting a 8-year age statement and a pretty tasty whiskey. At least that's what batch 2 was. I'm sure it's only gotten better. Now, they don't disclose their mash bill, although I was told that it is 10% rye. So I don't know how much corn is in it or how much malted barley is in it, but it is a 10% rye mash bill. So it should have a little spice, I'm thinking, but not a ton. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and we're going to get into it and we're going to see just how good this one is. Has it gotten better since batch 2? Has it gotten worse due to, the whiskey demand going up? I will tell you that the Oregon Oak finishing is kind of a big deal because Oregon Oak is significantly... Oh, wow, that was a monster cork pop. Oregon Oak is significantly rarer than American White Oak, obviously because it's only grown in Oregon, as far as I know, but it's a much rarer species of wood than just traditional American White Oak. So I'm thinking this is going to probably impart some special flavors to it, but this is just a really nice dark amber color. Really kind of pretty in the glass. Go ahead and spin that around. Swirl, swirl, swirl. Doesn't seem to be the most viscous in the world. I don't know if that's due to, the cutting with water to get it down to that consistent 90 proof, or, maybe that's just one of the characteristics of this whiskey. But, okay, the nose already. Dark fruits. Raisins, plums. A little bit of oak. A little bit of like a spice kind of note. Like a baking spice. And I can't put my finger on it, but it's not terrible. If you guys have tried this and you're not fans, I'm sorry. All I know about is the 8-year white label. I know they have an 8-year red label that's finished in apple brandy casks. If anybody from Trail's End is watching this, would love to try that one. Would love to try your 10-year offering. Okay, yeah, just dark red fruits, raisins and plums, kind of. Yeah, like spiced raisins and plums. And a little bit of oak. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the palate. Cheers, guys. Okay. Spicy oak. Spicy oak with some stone fruit, but like muted stone fruit. A little bit of caramel. A little bit of vanilla. Classical bourbon notes. Well-rounded. It does have like a dry wood kind of finish to it. Not popsicle stick-esque, just dry barrel wood. It's gotta be, I don't know. It hangs on, but it's muted. It coats well, but there's not really a pop of flavor that's drawing you back in for another sip. Okay. As it's opening up a little bit, there's a little bit of like a white fruit kind of note, like a sour green apple with some cinnamon on it. Like a heavy amount of cinnamon though. It's got like a slight drying effect to it. It's not bad. Wood tannins. Yeah, a lot of wood tannins on the finish. And I don't know if that's a byproduct of the Oregon oak or if I have to let this open up a little bit. But it's very curious. I'd love to see how this thing opens up compared to its younger brother. Yeah, just classical bourbon notes. A little bit of cinnamon white fruits. Yeah, just a dash of raisin. There's some like baking spices that are kind of dancing around, but it's light amounts. A little bit of like nutmeg, maybe, I don't know, some brown sugar that's kind of aloof. It's kind of there, but it's not really there, if you guys know what I mean. So it's a good pour. It's not going to change my life or anything. Yeah, it falls flat a little bit compared to the batch 2 in terms of what I remember the batch 2 as. Seems to be well put together. I love the presentation. I really like the style of bottle. It's very clean. It says right on here, non-chill filtered, which is good. The end of one path forms the beginning of another. This is not just our philosophy, but our story. Trail's End is a true-born Kentucky bourbon aged 8 years in charred New American oak. Then travels west to Oregon, where it's finished with Oregon oak and glacier-fed spring water. Okay. So, I mean, it's probably Heaven Hill, which I don't get any Heaven Hill funk on this, if that's the case. So, that's a point for them. Lower proof. Not bad. It's not super thin, but it's not super bold either compared to some other 90 proof whiskeys I've had. As I keep going back to it, it's sweetening a little bit, but there's like a strong wood tannin note. And I don't know if that's going to go away with it being open for an extended period of time. But I mean, right, let's give it a score. I can probably dive through this quite a bit and kind of pick it apart and see if I like it more or if I can find any more of the complexities to it. Okay. Just shooting from the hip, 6.1. I'm going to give it a 6.1. It's average. It's good. Would I say no to a pour of this? I might consider other options at the bar. Maybe it needs time to open up because I remember the older batch having more dark fruit notes to it, whereas this one is a bit lighter and a bit spicier. So I don't know. You know what? Just for poops and giggles, let's just do a comparison here and see, is it the same? Is it different? I don't know. This might have been bottled before the huge bourbon swing, so I don't know. Maybe things are a little different. Who knows? Okay. The batch 2, a little denser, a little creamier. Yeah, it had those raisin notes that batch 6 just doesn't have. So, I mean, for the price point, I certainly don't think it's bad at all. I'm going to stick with the 6.1. It's good, not great. If you find some of the older batches, I would definitely recommend grabbing those. But I also want to see how this one opens up. Obviously, this guy's got quite a bit of oxygen in there. He's been open for a while. But I don't think it's bad. I certainly very much appreciate the opportunity to review this. Would love to try their 10-year-old bottle. If you guys are out there, if you're listening, would love to give it a shot. A re-review of this will definitely happen. Maybe a couple months from now, we'll take a look at it, see how it's opened up. But that's where I'm at, guys. I mean, I think it's a good, reasonable bourbon. It's got a nice age statement on it. It should be relatively available in the markets that it's sold in, which unfortunately does not include Michigan. But that's where I'm at. It's not going to change your life, but you're definitely not going to regret drinking it by any stretch. So that's it for me, guys. Lots of cool stuff on the way. Make sure you keep checking out the channel. But until next time, cheers.